Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at some of the biggest whoopsies in history. We're talking massive errors, epic fails, and decisions so bad they'd make a 5-year-old shake their head. These mistakes, as embarrassing as they seem now, shape the world we live in. So get ready for a wild ride through history's biggest, well, not hits but misses. Let's go. The Titanic. They said it couldn't sink, a marvel of engineering, a floating palace, until it did. The ship was the epitome of luxury and technological advancement, a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. The Titanic's sad end in the icy North Atlantic in 1912 shows us that even the best technology can't beat nature or human error. One big mistake? Underestimating the power of the natural world and overestimating human capability. Thinking the Titanic couldn't sink, so they didn't have enough lifeboats. This overconfidence led to a dire shortage of lifeboats when disaster struck. There were only enough lifeboats for about half the people on board, a terrible miscalculation. This meant that many lives were lost unnecessarily. This disaster changed sea safety rules, like having enough lifeboats for everyone. New regulations were put in place to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. It also created the International Ice Patrol, which still watches for icebergs in the North Atlantic. This organization helps prevent future collisions with icebergs. The Titanic sinking was a tragedy, but it taught us about being careful and prepared. It serves as a somber reminder of the importance of respecting nature and the need for constant vigilance and preparedness in maritime travel. In 1986, the world watched in horror as the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just 73 seconds after launch, tragically killing all 7 astronauts on board. This event shocked the nation and the world. Investigations revealed a series of technical problems and poor decisions that led to the disaster. The primary issue was the failure of the O-rings, rubber seals designed to prevent hot gas from escaping the rocket boosters. Engineers had repeatedly warned about the vulnerability of the O-rings in cold weather conditions, but their concerns were ignored. The immense pressure to launch on schedule led to a rushed decision, disregarding the significant risks involved. The Challenger disaster serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of listening to experts and prioritizing safety above all else. It's a lesson that remains relevant today as we continue to explore the frontiers of space. Napoleon Bonaparte, who conquered most of Europe with his brilliant military strategies and relentless ambition, was ultimately defeated not by a superior army, but by the vast and unforgiving terrain of Russia. His 1812 invasion of Russia is considered one of history's biggest military blunders, a catastrophic miscalculation that highlighted the dangers of overconfidence, poor logistical planning, and underestimating the enemy. Napoleon didn't think the brutal Russian winter and the immense distances would be a problem, but as the harsh winter arrived, his army, unprepared for the severe cold, began to suffer immensely, with soldiers dying from hunger, sickness, and the freezing weather. The invasion turned into a humiliating retreat, a desperate struggle for survival, ending Napoleon's previously unbroken winning streak and leading to his eventual downfall and exile, marking the end of an era. The Chernobyl disaster in 1986 shows how dangerous nuclear accidents can be. A routine safety test at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine became the world's worst nuclear disaster. Bad design and human error made it worse. Workers broke safety rules during the test. The explosion released lots of radioactive material, forcing people to leave Pripyat. The disaster caused long-term health problems and environmental damage. In 1666, London burned in a huge fire that destroyed most of the city. The Great Fire of London was a massive disaster caused by a combination of bad luck. The fire started in a bakery on Pudding Lane and quickly spread through the wooden buildings. Firefighters couldn't stop it because they weren't organized and didn't have good equipment. The fire was terrible, but it allowed London to be rebuilt with better buildings and streets. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, ended World War I, but it also caused future problems. Instead of peace, the treaty focused on revenge and punishment, created anger and instability that led to World War II. The treaty blamed Germany for the war, making them pay a lot of money. This caused poverty in Germany, allowing extremist ideas to grow. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to stop wars, didn't fix the problems that caused World War I. In 1999, the Mars Climate Orbiter, a NASA spacecraft, crashed because of a simple mistake, mixing up metric and imperial units. The spacecraft was supposed to enter Mars's atmosphere at a certain angle and height. A navigation error caused by the unit mix-up made the orbiter enter too low, destroying it. The Mars Climate Orbiter shows us the importance of clear communication, using the same units and paying attention to detail. Enron, once a big company, became famous for greed and accounting fraud. When it collapsed in 2001, Enron used tricky accounting to hide debt and make its earnings look better. They created fake companies to hide their real finances from investors. The Enron scandal shocked the business world, making investors nervous and leading to stricter rules. It shows that dishonesty can have big consequences. In 1961, the US tried to overthrow Fidel Castro in Cuba. The Bay of Pigs invasion was a huge embarrassment for the US and made Castro stronger. The plan was to train Cuban exiles to invade Cuba and start a rebellion. But the invasion was poorly planned. The CIA thought Cubans would rebel against Castro, but they didn't, and Castro's army was stronger than they thought. The Bay of Pigs was a big mistake for the US. In the 1970s, the Ford Pinto, a cheap car, became known for a dangerous problem. Its gas tank could explode in a crash. Ford knew about this problem but didn't fix it to save money and meet deadlines. The Pinto's gas tank caused about 500 to 900 deaths from fires. The Ford Pinto scandal caused outrage and lawsuits. It made car companies take safety more seriously. From sinking ships to space disasters, from military mistakes to business scandals, we've looked at some of history's biggest mistakes. These mistakes show that progress isn't always easy. There are setbacks and mistakes. By learning from these mistakes, we can hopefully avoid making them again. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more.